Hello everyone, this is Zeno Ninja, and you are now listening to the Storm Connect podcast, published by the King's Eyes Life Network. I talk about gaming topics and animated series of my own interest, like RWBY, Kingdom Hearts, Persona 5, and etc. The goal I aim to accomplish on every episode is to provide insights on these said subjects that are usually overlooked, to spread awareness, and learn more. In this episode, we are going to be discussing the recent chapters of Rooster Teeth's RWBY Volume 7, an animated web show that features anime characteristics where four girls, Ruby, Weiss, Blake, and Yang, and a few other traveler friends went from training to become huntsmen and huntresses to saving the world as they fight off against the creatures of Grimm. But, with that being said, I am also here joined with two special guests as well. Please introduce yourselves, two special guests.
Hello, I'm Kim Chu, or I can go by Kims. I am a graphic artist on Twitter, and I do some stuff here and there. That's about how interesting I am.
Hi, I'm Tony, and I go by TMaxo4 on Twitter, and TMaxo on YouTube, where I don't really post. I am also a graphic designer. Very interesting, I know.
You picked the two most boring people on the planet.
Oh my gosh. Well, I will say as much that it is a pleasure for having both of you here in this podcast today. And speaking of, I also want to throw this out there real quick that Kimps, Tony, and myself are all a part of the Kingdom Hearts Graphic Art Community server. Yes, a big server full of artists, graphic designers, 2D, 3D artists, animators, and video editors. So if you are interested in joining such a community with Kingdom Hearts theme and such, you don't have to join in if you're not interested in Kingdom Hearts and such. We do have other talented visual artists that are part of this wonderful community. I will put the Discord link on the show page, and you'll be able to check it out from there if you're interested. Now, if you're not caught up with the RWBY series, I highly suggest you tune into this podcast at another time. So now, before we discuss Volume 7 and the final chapter, let's talk about us for a little moment, just to, break the little ice and get to know each other a little bit more, even though we were working on the designer server / artist server. You get what I'm talking about anyways. So, alright, now, I threw out these questions because I am interested to hear, Kim's and Tony's answers for this. So, first question, what got you guys into the RWBY series? One of you.
Alright, I'll start off. So I remember, was it 2013 when the Black trailer dropped?
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, scrolling on my YouTube phone, and then I saw in trending, it was like a trailer of this weird cartoon anime thing. I'm like, okay, well, let me just check it out. And I watched it. It was so freaking cool. Like, it was so dope. And then I saw that there was like 4 other characters. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta find out what this is. And then I watched all the other trailers, and I got really hyped about RWBY. And since then, I've been a pretty consistent fan since.
Okay, alright, that's really cool. Yeah, no, that's like, I actually watched the trailers, after the first volume was, premiered. So, I wish I seen it sooner so that I would have been a little bit more hyped for that, because I had some things that were kind of out of context, not really so-ish, but yeah, no, the Black trailer, I love that very much. It's also a personal favorite of mine. Definitely, yeah. So, how about you, Tony?
So I noticed it when the last episode of Volume 5 was trending. I was like, oh shoot, it's on trending. That's cool. And that piqued my curiosity. And some friends I had on Union Cross, great game, favorite game of all time, I promise, were asking if I had watched it, and that gave me the drive to go ahead and watch volumes 1 through 5, and I stuck with the show.
Now, I'm going to need you to link me your personal contacts from the Union Cross community, because they made that absolute correct decision, especially to dragging you in one of the most underrated great volumes of RWBY. But anywho, okay, I still remember to this day that Volume 5 was trending by the time we got to the final 2 episodes, actually, and it was really interesting because it was like one of the biggest plot twists Raven being the Spring Maiden, that was crazy. Who would have believed it? That actually got the whole YouTube to trend like that. And wow, the views went incredible, like, it skyrocketed. And I was just here like,
what happened.
I don't know, like, that was...
YouTube algorithm said.
They really said, yeah, like, it's Ruby time, and they jumped a little bit more into the hype with that, so, I don't really hear that often that people, hear about Ruby by Volume 5 when, at the time, it was at its peak, so it's actually nice to hear that you just happen to be dragged along with this hype train, and look where we're at right now.
Alright.
So, I suppose I'll share a little bit into this as well. So, as mentioned before, I actually did not watch the trailers at all. I actually had a friend back in high school. She showed me just an episode of Ruby, just the first episode, because she cosplayed as Roman Torchwick, one of the antagonists for Ruby. And I was like, oh my god, that is a sleek-ass design. And then after that, like, she actually put it on the giant TV screen. And then I was like, oh, okay, wait, alright, this is actually very interesting. And what's funny about it is that I actually, like, binged through that. And now I'm more into it than she is to this day. But, like, now I'm trying to get her back into the hype because of the interesting developments that the Ruby series has progressed since then. So, because I usually have to catch her up from, because I did that with her with Volume 5 and Volume 6, and now, soon, actually, in about a couple weeks or so, I'm going to have to do it again with her in Volume 7, so it's going to be really funny and interesting experience for me, though. But yeah, no, it only took a friend, and, yeah, now the roles are reversed. I'm trying to get her back to it and dragging her into the hype, while she was trying to do that several years ago, while I was still in high school.
Sounds fun.
I know, right? Really cool. So, now I get to be the one to watch the reactions.
Yes!
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit satisfying. And now, next question. Oh, I'm gonna like this one. So, I am curious to know, what are your guys' most favorite and least favorite character of Ruby of all time?
Alright, I have a definite answer to this one.
Alright, go for it.
So my all-time of all the seasons out, like, my favorite character would be Crow. I just think he's, like, really bad. I just love his personality, and he's, like, really great. And his fighting style is just really cool as well. His design is great as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And he's been so, like, consistent through the whole entire, like, series, and becomes his voice actor. But apart from that, it's great. I really love what they did with Crow, and how, like, important he is now into the Ruby gang as well. But since season 7, I've also gained a very big interest in Oscar and Ironwood. I think Oscar's really coming to his own as a character and also as a part of team, whatever. I guess the overall team gang. I'm not sure if he was in the other gang. Alright, whatever. And Ironwood, his character in season 7 was like, I felt like it was executed really well, and I really loved like how he made decisions and whatnot. Even though they were crappy decisions, at least they were backed by like experience and by his own values, which was really good to see.
I can't wait to talk a lot more about Ironwood later.
Oh boy. A character I really don't like. Character I don't like is Hazel, because I think he's just such a boring villain.
What?
I think
Hazel?
Yeah, I think he's pretty boring. Not gonna lie.
I'm gonna have to agree there because when we were talking about it earlier and Kim said Hazel, I didn't know who he was talking about for a second. I like had to use brain power to remember.
Oh my god, that's actually... this is actually the first time I'm hearing that. A personal, like, not a fan of Hazel. That's actually really interesting. This is the first time I'm even hearing from two people at the same time. That's actually crazy. Oh my god, wow. Wow.
But I just haven't watched the other seasons in a while, so that could be a contributor too.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's basically it. Alright, Tony.
Dang. I really don't have a definite answer for either of these. I can tell you though.
Oh.
I don't like Cinder. In the sense that she's a villain. Like,
okay, alright, you and I are on the same page.
I think she's a good villain in that sense. I just don't like her. I don't know. But favorite. Oh wait. One more least favorite. All the Ace Ops besides Clover.
Oh, got him.
I
That's a
felt
definite.
that.
That's a definite. I like Clover, but all the other ones just don't. They don't hit.
That's crazy.
But are they your least favorite characters though?
Yeah, that's the least favorites.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Oh,
shoot.
They're counted as to one character. That's crazy.
Least favorites minus one character, you know? Favorite? That's kind of hard, but Oscar was cool. I don't know why,
wow.
but just watching him use the pole on a Grim, that was cool. I don't know.
It's hard to hate, though, really.
For me, yeah. Like,
I do agree that Oscar has come a very long way. It took a hot minute because he was really being shafted for a long time. Oh yeah, and before I continue further into this, I just want to give a little bit of a quick shout out to Nakeem. He must be really happy right now as to what he might be hearing when he listens to this podcast. So I just want to give a little bit of a quick shout out there. Hi Nakeem.
Hi, Nakeem.
We missed you in this
Nakeem?
podcast. Hopefully we get to see you again.
One day.
Oscar is great.
Alrighty. But yeah, no, basically, like, it was a big surprise that they were actually doing something with it, and I think Volume 7 was, like, the perfect opportunity, and I hope they continue with the momentum. Actually, he's also been very consistent in the volume compared to other characters, which we're gonna get into that way later into this podcast. So, and one more comment that I want to throw off, as well, too, to Tony regarding with the Aesops. I'm with you on that one. I hate the Aesops with all my being, and the funny part is the fact that my most hated one was Clover.
Oh.
And I said this in my podcast, is that I'm so glad and happy, not glad, but like, he got what he deserved, basically. That's all I'm gonna say. He got what he deserved. I don't care. That good luck charm, no. He got clowned, yeah!
Clown. I'm getting clowned.
Look, I'm sorry.
Oh, I think that was stupid. That the scene where yeah, where he got, or where he just died. That was kind of dumb.
Honestly, it's just how the
It's like, what
fuckery
good luck was
happened.
there?
Yeah, the fuckery happened that like his priority to arrest Crow rather than like dealing with Tyrion when he's out in the
Yeah.
open like that. That I was like, yep, nope. I knew you were gonna get killed. Knew it. Saw that coming, and I'm glad you did. But anyways, but I feel bad for Crow in that
Wrong
sense. But that's why I had a
decision
bittersweet feeling to that scene.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. We'll wait for that. We'll wait for the rest of that.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Alrighty, so I actually don't talk about this on my Twitter a lot, actually. But if you pay close attention, and if you're part of the Storm Clansman Discord server or the Kingdom Hearts Graphic Art Community Discord server, you would already know who my favorite is. If not, then I will gladly reveal to you right here, right now, that Raven Bronwyn, the Bird Mom, is my favorite character. That I have never, because at first it used to be Blake, actually. Blake, because she was a character that I related a lot to. The only thing that was the difference between her and I is the fact the whole running away problems. Raven, how she leads her people and what she does, I relate to a whole new personal level. Now, before we get a little bit controversial onto this, just know I don't support her horrific motherly methods. But in terms as to how she has survived, I have to give her credit that she has earned a lot of my respect. Her cleverness, her intelligence, her design. She's my female counterpart. I'm just saying, like, literally, like, it's just like, wow, you're thinking exactly what I'm thinking of. You're thinking the words right out of my mouth. So, and it's funny. You said what you said. You even proved it in Volume 6 without even being there. And now you're sipping back, crying to Tai Yang, even though at the same time you're also sipping your tea as to why you ran away from this Ozpin war. Which I don't blame you, honey. So I'm still with you on that one. But please come back anyways.
Wait, was she in Volume 7?
Nope. She was not in Volume 7. Nope.
All right.
She the last time she was seen was at the Spring Maiden's vault. That's
She
it.
was a bird.
A bird. But I'm actually going to talk a little bit more about that later. So, with that being said, least favorite character. As mentioned for this volume, the Aesops. As an entire villain overall, I will say that definitely has to go to Cinder as well. And my reasoning for that is because that she is a power-hungry character, but I don't know jack shit about her. What made her be this way and such, and, like, she's just doing this just because the sake that she's fucking hungry for power, which I understand that much, but it's like, she literally got shafted as a character the moment Salem came in. At least for me.
She doesn't have, like, the development that explains that, I feel like. So, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's just that, you know, she just looks like a child that's just throwing a tantrum most of the time. She doesn't get what she wants, which she was clever by the time, like, we saw her earlier in the volumes, but then she just kind of changed up now because her impatience has been running out and how she's been acting, which it was interesting at first to see her character that way, and then now she just reverted to, again, someone just throwing a random tantrum, which, again, we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But as of right now, Cinder is my least favorite character, and I honestly hope that she dies a horrible death, even though she should have died in Raven's hands. But that's all I'm going to say about that until we talk about Chapter 13. And now, let's talk a little bit more about the final question with all of us. What is your guys' favorite fight of all time of RWBY so far, yet?
So a personal highlight of mine is in the first season when they versed the Giant Nevermore when they're trying to get into their teams. Well, before that, yeah, it was basically like a trial. I think that was like the first feeling of like when watching the RWBY series where it really got to form in terms of like its choreography, because that was like the first big fight episode since watching the trailers, and when watching that for the first time, you just got this really great sense of action pacing, cinematography in terms of like the camera angles and whatnot. This is a really great fight overall, and you got to see all the characters work together and whatnot. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorite fights.
Okay, respectable. I like that fight. It definitely has a special place in the heart right there, especially to how the team kind of just like came together before there were even teams. So
right, yeah,
that was really nice. Yeah. How about you, Tony?
I have to agree with that fight. Like,
oh, okay.
I tried to recall all the fights, and that was like the first one that came to mind. And it's really because like it really felt like a team there. It really felt like they had the makings, and just the teamwork between all of them. It was really good.
Okay, all right. I respect that. It is definitely a great fight. So, I give you guys that.
It's a really good way to start off the show, I think.
Yeah.
There was a special flair to that, and I don't know, just whatever Monty was envisioning through that, high respects to Monty.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, I guess I'll review my fight. This is also an easy one if you have not been paying attention to this podcast, but
I wonder.
I wonder. Let's just trail back a little bit earlier to this podcast, you know? Raven versus Cinder! Let's go. I'm sorry. But, I love that fight.
Fight.
The music, I think, like, the music, I really felt so much hype of seeing a maiden battling against another maiden. I don't know, just something about that just, like, brought me so much hype. I wish, honest to God, to this day, I wish I had, like, OBS ready to record my reaction to that episode, because I was popping off during that fight. And even though, like, that was, like, Kruby's, like, way to getting back into, like, the actual, like, good action, because their choreographies, it was a little bit shaky after Volume 3. But
they switched the whole style.
They switched the style, and they didn't have Monty anymore. So it was weird. But they really, for me at least, they really picked it back up with this fight with Raven versus Cinder. And hopefully, again, we do see more of a potential of a maiden versus a maiden, because I feel like they could do so much more, because they have incredible godlike powers. It's scary and they're terrifying. And what I liked about that fight specifically is the fact that Raven, she hardly used her maiden powers, while Cinder was like relying all of her might and strength into those maiden powers, while Raven, it was a supplementary with her raw power, and that's why Cinder was outmatched. And it was just so scary. It's like, god damn, imagine if Raven was using raw battle power with her maiden powers, using it a lot more than pretty much the same amount Cinder was using it in that fight. And it's like, oh my god, Cinder would have been dead at that time. But no, Raven was clever. She used it appropriately when it was needed, traveled to places, and her speed is incredible. I love the design with her blades as well. So seeing that how it worked with dust fusions and magic, whoa, that blew my mind. And I was in love with that fight, and I replayed it. To this day, I still replay it, but we can talk about that later. So, but yeah, and plus, I don't know, it's just the fact that, oh yeah, how the hell do these women fight in heels? I'm sorry, but like, what the hell? Like, I'm surprised you guys have not broken a heel at this point. Jesus Christ. So,
just fashion.
Seems to be. But yeah, nope, I have to love that fight so much. I'm not gonna lie, it was hard for me to really pick out, because there's another fight that I want to give a little bit of a quick honorable mention to, and that is Yang and Blake versus Adam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a really good fight, because that was like probably like the most Monty choreography that they did throughout the volumes of 4 to 7, at least in my opinion, throughout that time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it felt a lot of, like, I felt a lot of things at that one. Almost the same as equal amount to Volumes 5's Raven versus Cinder. But nonetheless, it was a really good fight. Great music as well. And the beginning sequence with Yang and Adam, that was so hype. That was like, oh my god, like, they're beating the crap out of each other. Who's coming out on top? Let's go. So, but that's my quick, a little bit honorable mention for favorite fights of RWBY right there.
Cool.
Alrighty. And
Time to get into the
now this is where we're actually going to get into this real big time. Alrighty. We shall now transition to Chapter 13, the final chapter of RWBY Volume 7. Let's talk about
Already.
that.
Oh, I'm just saying it's ended already, man. It was so fast.
It did feel fast, yeah. I don't know, like at first, like, it was a little bit weird for me, the fact that, like, this time, like, the RWBY series ended in February, because they usually end in January, because they usually premiere around the range of October, and then they have, like, 1 or 2 weeks of a break, and then it just ends in January. No, this time it was in February, but I forgot. This time they premiered in November, so it was a little bit later than usual. But nonetheless, it still felt short, especially with some of these chapters that felt really small and not as, like, lengthy how it was back in volumes 5 and 6.
Yeah, it was a little weird. I was like 15 minutes. I was like, it definitely felt shorter.
And speaking of that,
shorter.
there's gonna be a lot more time to talk about that when we get to the volume 7 review.
Yeah.
So I promise you, I'm gonna have that pinned for right now. So, how I want to open this off for this is basically how the first the finale chapter started with Team, as I like to call them, Junior, because with Nora and Ren, Oscar putting it into the middle right there. Team Junior versus Neo.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh,
That's so
I did
clever.
not.
Yeah,
I
I didn't
really
realize.
tried to look at that, and I was like, Genoir.
Yeah, nobody really talks about that. Like, I always see, like, Team, like, J and R, but never, and then Oscar, and I'm just like, just call him Team Junior at this point. Like, stop. But
I'll take it.
but yes, Team Junior versus Neo. So I'm gonna start this off this time.
Sure.
Now here's the thing, like, the ASOS made a comment about Team Junior's battle approaches, that they're usually like the type of people to make a first head start approach to their enemy, which, you know, I will say that that's true. They have been keeping that consistent with the entire volume, at least in this volume. There have been moments where like they have not done that, reference to volume 3, but they have made that consistent to volume 7. Now, here's my thing with that. I'm fine that they make a head start approach, but if you want my personal opinion, that I did not like the battle choreography. Just something about it just was so off. And I understand that it's all about Neo trying to grab that relic, but it's like Neo felt so like original, like into a regular battle choreography fight, while Team Junior, they were just, I don't know what they were doing. Like, are they waving around with their weapons, having, you know, a LARP play or something? I don't know what that was. It just felt so weird. Like, you know, you see Ren and Nora charging right at Neo, and with that being said, it's like, do you guys not see, like, what the issue is? Don't make the head start approach her. Wait till she comes to you. I thought one of you guys would think of that, but no. And then Jean just showing up out of nowhere. I'm like, oh yeah, guess what? My dust, or here's my shield. I can use this to push back with gravity dust. Haha. Okay, that just felt so weird. I don't know. So, and another thing I want to comment as well. How was the relic easily dropped so much in that fight?
Because, like, fights before, the relic was clearly present, you know?
Mm.
And that didn't happen.
Yeah, it did not happen. Like,
that was reverse plot armor right there.
That was just so weird. You know, I don't know how, like, it gets so, like, out of the chain loop of your guys' belts or whatever and stuff like that. Like, god dang, like, how loose are your belts? Come now, you guys need some more rework around with that. What are you guys doing at the Atlas Science Technology? Stop. Oh my god. You guys might as well get belts made out of dust.
The fight was so, like, weird, like, choreography-wise. It just, like, walked in one by one, and then Neo, like, some fancy moves, but literally like 2 seconds before she got punched by Oscar, telegraphing a 10-minute sprint. Like, it felt really strange, didn't it? And John
coming
in like normal speed during a slow motion moment.
It literally looked like a school play fight.
Yeah, and I was like, oh,
no,
this is kind of weird, but okay.
I don't know about that.
I don't know, because it's like Neo felt so natural, while the rest of them, like, they don't. And the thing is the fact that, oh, well, here's the thing. Neo, she has more battle experience and she outclasses Team Junior. Now, let me say this right now. I'm fine if Neo was meant to win that fight. That's okay. But it's just the fact that Team Junior, at least for Jean, Nora, and Ren, I've seen them fight much better than this. Way much better than that.
As a team.
Especially as a team, too. Like, you know, Jean has the brains and such, and Nora basically packing a lot of power into it, and Ren kind of being the clever little sneak one of the team. It works out, and this time, it just did not feel that way. It really did not. It's like, oh my god, like, you guys are charging in like idiots.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know how to feel. It was alright.
They just needed to get the relic to Neo's hands. That was basically, they had the plot point and they choreographed the fight around it. It didn't really work out.
I think that was a really poor execution of that. Because I know, like, there are times where, like, they had to run away as they were trying to escape with the authorities, though. But I don't know. That was just so weird to me. Another point that I want to bring up too, as well, is the fact that Ren, why were you crying? What was he doing crying? Like, I get that, like, you know, Nora made such a not Nora, Neo posing as Nora to make such a pained face to Ren, and he felt fucked up at that moment. But it's like, you know,
he should have felt like angry right after that. I feel like,
yeah, it's just like, what are you doing crying? Like, you know that's a fake. She has the umbrella. I don't know if the emotion power was too much, especially his entire personality is based on shadowing his emotions. So it could unattract the Grimm that way. I don't know if it could happen with him that way, but it's like, what happened there? Which I want to talk a little bit more about Ren later in this podcast, though. But in that fight, I just felt it was so off.
I think I would have got it more if he had, like, hit Neo.
Yeah.
Like, I would have understood the crying more if he had hit Neo while she looked like Nora. But he didn't, so it's like... I don't know.
I feel like that was just a really pointless sequence of that fight. And I don't know, it's just... It felt so off to me, and Jean barely doing anything. Again, all he did was just do a shield dust pullback. Whatever. That's it.
You know what I was really mad about? It was when they ditched Oscar when they were just running. And that just pissed me off so much. I'm like,
how did they lose him so...
When they got separated, that was...
That annoyed me, man. I was like, oh my god, guys, guys, please.
How did they lose him so easily? I don't understand. It wasn't that hard. It clearly was not that hard.
It really wasn't. Yeah. He's the one that freaking... Oh gosh. I can't believe it even happened. But you know what?
You know what? No, I'm glad you brought that up, because there's another one that I want to bring out of my frustration. Like, we saw that Oscar was getting really tired. Like, he needed some help. Why didn't we see a quick Oscar versus Neo fight? Why?
They skipped over that.
Yeah,
we did.
They skipped over that. He really got pushed over. Like, they pulled up Volume 6. He disappears for one episode like, oh my god, Oscar, where are you? He shows up in the next episode just fine. Why? I don't understand what direction they were going with that. But it's like, it would have made sense as to how much of the fight there was going on between those two. And how was she holding the relic the first time? How? Oh my god. What was going on?
What'd she do?
I need a flashback.
Run by him or something?
Yeah, randomly run by him. But it's like, you see the robots were destroyed. The Atlas robots. It's like, what the hell? The Paladin. Oh my god.
It's clearly a very flawed scene.
Oh yeah, that was some weird sequence. It's hard for me to even describe, and words cannot express enough of how frustrated I am with that battle choreography. With Neo being the only one that was natural, she deserved to win that fight. I'm sorry, but no. After that, I'm like, no, you four are a mess. Neo deserved to grab that relic. Screw all of y'all. Oh yeah, and also another thing I want to mention as well. I know you'll keep it safe in Atlas. Shut up, Ruby! Shut up. We all know that was gonna be a lie.
Oh
yeah, Ruby mentioned that early in the volume to Oscar that he'll keep it safe in Atlas, and look what happened to that.
Yeah, that's a good prank, bro.
Bum bum ba
She tried it. She really did. But that's all I really had to say regarding with Team Junior versus Neo, unless there's anybody else that has to say anything about that.
No, I'm good.
Let's call them Team Orange.
Oh my god, no. We might as well. You know what? Team Orange, Oscar, and then... Okay, I see what you're going with that one. I like that. That was really clever. Alrighty, so that's all for Team Orange and Neo. We're gonna pin them a little bit back. We'll come back to that a little bit later. Now this one, I've anticipated this for so long in this podcast.
Yeah,
34 minutes.
Wait. Mm-hmm. I thought Nakeem wrote that. I'm 100% honest.
Nope.
This felt like a Nakeem moment.
I wrote this. So fun fact for you guys. We put together a little bit some small notes for this podcast and such because there's a lot to go over, and it's open notes for anybody. So Nakeem was invited to this podcast as mentioned earlier, and unfortunately he couldn't be with us tonight. I wrote this, but I'm sure Nakeem will have a real serious treat. Once again, shout out to you, Nakeem. We miss you, buddy. Now, this part. I've waited. Let's talk about our favorite character, the one that shined the most next to Oscar in this volume.
Yes.
Mr. James Ironwood. So I'm gonna
pop off.
I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna open this up, okay? So you mean to sit here and tell me you fucking look-alike Hitler head ass? I dare go that far. You dare go to this extent to say that you stopped Watts, and we were under the impression that you killed off your disgraced Atlesian scientist. No. You imprisoned him instead. I don't know what you were trying to accomplish, Mr. Ironwood. General, I'm sorry. Let me refer to you to General, bitch. You imprisoned him. But when you were losing your humanity after a single stupid chess piece that was right up at your desk, you get paranoid. You panic. And then, by the end of this volume, you had no issues of shooting a 14-year-old boy that was just trying to help you. Yet, the one that was trying to kill you and take over the goddamn kingdom is alive. What the fuck is wrong with you, you stupid fucking tin-head ass bitch? Woo! You know, it's funny.
To say I like him though?
Oh, okay. Like I'm gonna say this right now. He's a well-executed character for this volume. He's very well executed, very
So
consistent. But my gripes with him is that the fact that, in my opinion, he's made character development went from, yes, let's work on how to help the people and trust each other together. Chess piece. Okay, fuck Mantle. We're moving the staff. We're moving Atlas. Fuck all y'all. No, listen to me. I'm sorry. I'm losing my cool here, and I need to keep my composure. Pardon my unprofessionalism. Anywho, due to the behavior report of Ironwood here, of losing his humanity and his small little heart of his, he also seemed to have lost his brain. Now, you know what's funny about this is that I want to give a little bit of a shout out to the one that actually lost his body, heart, and mind, but did not lose his soul. Let's give a quick round of applause to Alphonse from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. He may have lost his body and everything attached to it, but the one thing he did not lose was his soul and his intelligence and his big heart. That's fucking sad. That's fucking sad that somebody from Brotherhood who was trying to revive their mom from the dead did not lose his humanity, but you did. And you still have your human body parts. At least I still want to hope so on that, though. But Jesus Christ, you stupid cyborg head ass. Alright, I'm done. Because of that, what do you...
I was gonna say, I don't know, I feel like it's quite understandable to a degree where he would kind of like shoot Oscar after the chess piece moment. I feel like, I mean, it makes sense, but I understand where you're totally coming from, where, like, it's a bit far-fetched to just, completely execute Oscar at that point. But, yeah, I don't know, I really enjoyed that part. Like, it made sense to me. Obviously, it was really stupid, but, like, it
makes sense. I do agree with that.
And I think it's a really fantastic moment, because it really solidifies, solidifies who Ironwood's gonna be in the next chapter, and, like, a hero of the first, like, half of the season is now like going to be an opposition to Team Ruby, and I think that's freaking awesome.
When the whole thing when he was like, I asked for Ozpin's advice, not yours. I was like, I was like, really? I didn't like that, because it's like, you come to him for advice, even knowing Ozpin is obviously gone, and then when he gives you advice, and you followed it, and it seemed to work. But now it's just, you're like, oh, I don't know. You're all impatient now. I just don't understand.
words cannot describe of my frustration with this lovely character, this tired character, because he's been known as tired.
Bro.
He was so tired, and now that man is sleep deprived as fuck because they literally fought all night to the dawn of morning. That's crazy.
For nothing.
For nothing, yeah, for nothing.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know, like, because of that, especially the fact of the end of the volume, or the end of the episode, we see Salem pulling up, and it's like, and we see Watson, it's like, well, we know he's gonna get busted out, easy, because of Ironwood's stupidity. But yeah, no, I'm just here thinking about it, and the only thing that, like, another thing that's, like, running through my head right now, through his reasoning to shooting Oscar to killing him, I think it's because he also didn't want to deal with Ozpin if he were to come back, so he just thought in his head, oh, this is not a problem if I just shoot a 14-year-old boy with somebody who's gonna reincarnate later, so it's whatever. So, I bet that's also what was going on in his mind as well.
Wait. You know what's absolutely hilarious? That it causes Ozpin to return. That's so funny.
He was gone for an entire volume just to literally monologue straight out bars in that freaking last scene.
I'll take it. As long as he's back next time. Like, oh my gosh.
I hope he's not gone for too long.
Do you think Ozpin has full control when he can come back to Oscar's consciousness?
Well, that's the thing. We're still trying to find out because we don't know if the whole soul fusion thing is a slow transition or not. Like, we're speculating right now. Like, there's theories the fact that Oscar is starting to sound like Ozpin as like time goes on, bit by bit. We just don't know if there's gonna be like an immediate push or not, and we don't even know if this is gonna happen in the next volume or not. So, I don't know. Like, it really is going to be a battle to who has more control if Oscar could really be that first one to pull that will with his soul and not to basically, become another one of Ozpin's lives.
Yeah, screw Ozpin. I want more Oscar.
That's crazy. Well, yeah, no, I mean, it kind of was his fault, the fact that he did accept the god's request, or should I say grave request, but it was done is done at this point.
I was cursed.
But yes,
15 moment.
I will say Ironwood, he was actually a great character in this volume, but I will say my issue with this character development to devolvement, it worked. In a way, it fucking worked, but I'm still mad, and I don't know how long I'm gonna be mad about this. Possibly by the time this podcast is uploaded to the general public, you probably will be seeing Nakeem in the replies of the Storm Connect EN Twitter, making his responses regarding with that, or maybe a video response. I don't know, but Nakeem will have some words about this matter. So please stay tuned. Please stay tuned about that later. So now, is there anyone else that would like to talk a little bit more about our favorite Tin Man?
Does he have no semblance or something? I actually have no idea. Never. Yeah.
So apparently it's still up in the air. Apparently he does have a semblance, but we still don't know what it is, and it still hasn't been revealed yet.
Oh, wait. I think I know what it is. Being a dickhead.
Ooh.
You know what?
That's kind of crazy.
There's some people that might need to take advantage out of the semblance because he doesn't need it more than these other people do. Cut Ruby.
Yeah, she
but
needs it real bad.
She really does, because fuck this. Fuck everything about this, I swear to God. But, yeah, no. Because there's going to be a part 2 to Volume 8 regarding with Atlas, I'm pretty sure we're going to see more of Ironwood. So maybe we will see his semblance by the time Volume 8 premieres, and then who knows what will we see in the climax of that. Maybe it will be by that time, or early on, or in the middle of it. Who knows?
Alright, yep.
It's not related to this episode specifically, or it's not related to this episode, but I just wanted to quickly say I really like the fight between him and Arthur.
Oh, Arthur Watts and Ironwood.
and Ironwood.
Okay, that was such a good
That
fight.
was really good, especially with all that in the arena. That was so cool. I don't know.
You know, what's funny is the fact that, like, this is a really unique fight because we usually see, like, blades that have, like, some type of gun, ammunition, like, migrated into the weapon, which is not a bad thing. We're not saying we're tired of that because it still makes it look cool, though. But a raw gunfight between two characters like that, I thought that was also cool as well.
And I really liked how it was really a chase, and eventually it became bare hands too. That was really cool.
Oh yeah,
It
that
was one
was.
of the more special, or I was like one of the really cool fights, I think.
It was also cool to see dust elements fuse with the ammunition as well with their guns.
Alright.
So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that just wanted to mention that real quick.
yeah, because you know he shot ice and then there was fire too at one point, and yeah, that was like really cool as well. So unique guns, yeah.
We're here for it. We're here for it.
We're definitely here for that. It's not just regular ammunition. But I did enjoy that fight too. Oh yeah, shout out to the music soundtrack for that playing as well.
Oh,
Hero.
yeah.
That was so good.
That was playing, and it really just added.
It spoke a lot about with Ironwood's character too. So, and after I reviewed that episode and with the lyrics itself, it's like, oh my god, talk about polarity, the irony of this. Oh my god, wow. But they did such a good job with that. I'm so glad that there were vocals for that fight. It's to me, it spoke a lot of volumes with Ironwood's character, and then like literally getting a little bit, not a full detailed backstory about Watts, but it's like we have enough details to know like why he is the way he is. We don't need like a whole on like flashback or anything like that. It's just perfect the way it is. So, yeah, no, but that was like probably like one of his greatest moments before he turned into a bitch. Anyways,
That was his only moment before he turned into a bitch.
all right. Pardon me again. I have to. All right. Professional Edo Ninja is returned to the podcast once again.
Welcome back.
Hughes. Hi. So,
Hey, I missed you.
Of course, I missed you all too very much. Just like how I also missed about the battle between Winter and Penny versus Cinder. Let's talk about that next.
I was
So,
surprised
got
no one
spoiled.
died.
I was too, because there were a lot of death flags for the three of them in that fight. So many. Which, honestly, if you want my honest opinion, I see more death flags for Winter rather than Penny and Cinder. Which,
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
really
thinking
worried
Winter was
about that.
gonna die. I feel like having Winter
Yeah, I
like being
thought it was
pushed this
gonna
narrative
happen.
of being the maiden, I was like, yeah, okay, well, she's probably gonna die. But
I don't
guess
think
not.
she can die now though, because she called for backup, and it's like if she just like died at the beginning of the season or was found dead, it would feel kind of weird. That would just ruin the pace, I think.
Well, it's not just that though, but the one thing that I also want to add on to your point right there is that there's a divide now between Weiss and Winter, which is really heartbreaking because Weiss and Winter, they're so respectable in each of their own ways and great as sisters. So seeing that the way that they are now, I'm not gonna lie, it broke my heart. So I definitely want to see what's gonna happen with Weiss and Winter and what they're gonna do the next time they see each other again. Is Winter gonna come back? Is she gonna leave Atlas? Go with it, or she's gonna die along with Atlas? That's gonna be a really interesting part of the character because they went from, you know, really close sisters at the beginning of the volume, and just now that there's just now another division, which, you know, to Weiss, I'm surprised she's taking this so well. Well, maybe she's not taking this immediately, but it's like she doesn't consider her father, her brother, family anymore. Her mom is just there. And now she's also losing her sister as well. And she is so close to her sister. And I just can't imagine how that's going to do to her in Volume 8. And I'm really looking forward to that for Part 2 of Volume 7, as I like to call it for Volume 8 now. That's how it is for me. But no, it's, but even then, like, I'm really glad that she did not die for both reasons, with the fact that, like, you know, again, with her sister relationship with Weiss in question, and, basically just because she's a really, favorable character, and just emotional attachment that I definitely do not want to see her die, but there were a lot of death flags. She was really at that critical point of dying. One thing I want to talk about, too, of her battle performance with that, she lost her aura really quickly. I thought that was weird. I don't know if it's because that her semblance took a lot of her aura, because semblances are fused with our auras in the Rubyverse. But we've seen, like, Weiss do some crazy shit with that amount of aura, but Winter outclasses Weiss. So I'm just here like, how does she lose so much already to the point where it broke off, you know? And I just hated the fact that, like, she got so washed out in that fight. Like, I know, like, unfortunately, Cinder, she outclasses Winter because of Fall Maiden. But, god damn, like, Winter was not that strong, which I'm like, I don't know. I've seen her do a little bit better than that, though, but I don't know. I feel like, to me, she was gassed up to be, like, one of the most, like, powerful Atlesian forces that Ironwood has, and it just was for nothing in every single way, shape, or form, and it's just disappointing in general, for me, at least, with her battle performance.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Winter Maiden, that was cool.
Okay. The Winter. Okay,
she was
She
cool.
snapped.
She was cool.
Freya, let's give a quick shout out to Freya, real quick. A big round of applause for Freya. That bitch, literally at the break of her critical death, snapped, literally sneezed, an avalanche by her deathbed. She literally looked at Cinder and was like, "Oh, you thought I'm gonna give this to you? Nope." I just wonder of how long she's been savoring that power in case there was an emergency like that. Because, god damn, she really created an Iceland right there.
Ready.
But this goes back to my point again as to how much potential maidens are capable of. And it's super fucking scary. And as an old woman did that shit. To the point where she's about to die. Christ. Freya. What were you like when you were in your younger years? I really want to know about that. I hope we get a little bit of flashback with Freya in one of the new 3 Ruby shows that they're going to be premiering later this year.
Wait,
I forgot about that.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, so let me give a little bit of quick knowledge about this. Rooster Teeth, if you guys don't know, they are going to be airing 3 new Ruby shows this year. And that's obviously Ruby Volume 8. They're going to have a bedtime story where it's gonna have a little bit more of an opportunity to talk about fairy tales. And it's gonna be starring Tai Yang, Ruby, and Yang. Basically, they're gonna be going like, "Oh, hey, read us a bedtime story. Read us a bedtime story." And Tai Yang reads the story, and they're gonna go off about the fairy tales that are inspired for each of the other characters and how it could impact the show as well.
Yeah.
And the last one is it's gonna be an art show, actually, regarding the artistic directions of Ruby, of why they went for this type of scenery and stuff like that. Because I noticed that the Ruby artists, 3D artists, 2D artists, and such, they've been posting a lot of their concept arts out on Twitter. So I'm not so sure I'm assuming that that's what got for their, show to be put on this way, though. But they're going to be talking about, like, how they got their inspirations and stuff like that, and they go a lot more about that. and it's going to be really consistent until we get to the premiere of Volume 8. So we're going to have a lot of more RWBY content instead of a full dry year with no RWBY stuff, with the exception of RWBY Chibi, up until RWBY Volume 8. So now we're going to be having a lot of content this time around.
That's awesome.
So,
the art one sounds dope.
I'm so excited for that one.
So
I
excited,
really
yeah.
hope to see. I really want to see their inspirations and what ideas they got out of it, and hopefully they talk a little bit more about the discussions, because they're really open about that, to how they want to go for directions for the kingdoms, the characters, and the colors. The colors really pop out in that show, and I love it so much. The world of Remnant. So that's gonna be something that's gonna be interesting and great to look forward to in the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, if you guys have not heard about that, well, now you know, and I'm also going to link that in the show page into the article showing about the RWBY's shows, and you guys can learn a little bit more about that, what they're going to be capable of, and so on forward, and hopefully that can kindle your hype for RWBY and to Volume 8, if you're not into it just yet. So, but yes, back to Winter and Penny versus Cinder. And I suppose Freya, because she kind of chipped it in a little bit in some way.
No, she's the MVP, yo. She changed the whole fate of who the Winter Maiden was gonna go to.
Yeah, that was something. I wasn't. Well, see, that was the part I got spoiled on, who the Winter Maiden was. But it was still something you didn't really see coming. It's like. Because it's like Winter was they were talking about it the whole time, and then Penny was just kind of there at the end, and it was like, huh, I don't know.
Now, here's the thing. Unfortunately, as much as this pains me to say this, I already knew that the Winter Maiden powers, it was not going to go to Cinder, to Winter. And my reasoning for that was because that it's pretty much a repeat of Volume 3. They talked about Pyrrha Nikos getting the Fall Maiden powers, and guess what? That didn't happen in the slightest, because Cinder showed up at the most perfect timing as possible that people got fucked over. Now, the good part about that is that Cinder did not get the Winter Maiden powers. Thank God she did not, because the Fall Maiden, she already had enough of that, and she was able to snipe a little bit of Raven's powers, only by, like, I don't know, 30%. I still need to learn a little bit more about that, because Rooster Teeth, they never made that clear as to if Cinder got a portion of it, or if not all of it, or some of it. We don't know to this day. However, my only prediction with that, I was hoping that, like, Winter would be able to get the Winter Maiden powers, and then she would be able to have an actual fair fight with Cinder. That would have been much more better that way, and I wish that they kind of went with this direction. However, Penny being the Winter Maiden, it did throw me off, and the only reason to that is because that I think you would have to be a real human being, because Penny Palladino, she's not. She's a robot girl.
Yeah,
however,
no one was gonna catch that one.
Yeah, so, however, I am actually okay with this development with Penny being the Winter Maiden, and my reasoning for that is because that she has an aura, not an artificial aura. She has an aura that was given by her father, and that's what makes her more real. She's been able to understand human emotions, and she's becoming more of a actual person, and she has a little bit of a sense of her father, because she has his aura, and now she's part of the Winter Maiden in some way, shape, or form. And honest to God, I am actually in love with this direction. I think Penny definitely did deserve that, and it just makes me so happy. Of all people, she got it. Even though I wish Winter got it, I'm completely okay and content that Penny Palladino got the Winter Maiden powers.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, but I also really wanted to see how Iron would utilize Winter with the Maiden powers, if that would happen, because that would be such a insane scenario, and like Team RWBY really lost the lamp and they lost the Maiden, and they're literally gonna face Salem now. It's gonna be crazy, but it's not Penny, which I'm totally fine with. But it would have been really interesting to see what would happen if Winter got it.
Exactly, because now Team Ruby's team is a little bit smaller again because they had the alliance with Atlas, and now that alliance is over. So basically, there will be 3 parties into that: Salem's forces, the Kingdom of Atlas, and Team Ruby with no maidens, while 2 of them have the maidens. But now, it's somewhat like that. It's Atlas, Salem, and Team Ruby. Team Ruby is the one that has the Winter Maiden. At least they have a maiden. They could have had 2 if Raven stuck around. Which, that could have bettered the chances by so much more to winning against Salem. At least against her forces for the time being. But they can only do what they got right now. One thing that, like, I'm really curious on, as to if they're ever going to elaborate a little bit more about that, as to how Penny is qualified. Like, it seems that it's already clear enough as day, the fact that, like, because again, it goes by with her aura. She has an actual real aura, and, you know, she has, in a way, even though, like, physically she doesn't have a human heart, though, but her soul, it is there, it exists. It's like she's actually her own human person, rather than artificial intelligence developed by the Atlas team. So, I don't mind if they don't explain that, though, but if they do, it will be really interesting to see, and I would hope that we could get some more clarity into this. So, because the whole maiden powers going to other people, it's super convoluted, and it's really difficult, and especially to how Penny, she actually grabbed Freya's hand, her dying breath, and it transferred the powers to her, which usually it transfers by a simple thought in the mind of whoever it was last, even though technically in a way it was in that moment, but we saw that power exchange right there. So I hope we get a little bit more conversation about that later. If not, then I mean, it's whatever, because it looks like it's already clear enough as day, but if not, if it needs to be elaborated, then it will be elaborated in time.
Yep.
Another note that I want to talk about as well, putting aside with my criticisms with Winter's performance in that fight, I will say it was actually a really good fight. The music with it was really, it got me scared up big time. Especially to how Cinder and she grabbed Penny and Winter right outside, and I was so scared. I'm like, oh my god, you are gonna make them fall to mantle. I was so scared at that moment. And this actually gives me a little bit more chance to talk about this too. Again, Cinder, we're seeing a little bit more of her distaste towards the Atlesians, that they think they're big and strong and such, and Cinder is being very open about her lust for power, which is really scary. I don't even know what to call it at this point. It went from that to her frustrations being pushed back, which to me, a lot of people, they made comments that, like, what the hell, like, she looks like a child throwing a tantrum. That is true. I will agree with that. I am not arguing differently on that.
I want to talk about something.
Yeah.
What was she wearing? I don't like that design. I don't like it.
She's a thought.
I don't like it.
She is a thought. That's literally what she is. Is a literal hoe.
I don't like it.
She's an indecent human being that just wants to show off power and, I guess, her aesthetics in a way.
Alright.
Even though they're super unappealing, but okay, go off, princess. But yeah, no, but it's really interesting that, like, she spoke a little bit more about that. Which, again, this is what bothers me, is the fact that we've been speculating so long about Cinder as to why she is the way that she is, and how does she find Salem as to how she is as a character right now. I'm hoping that there will be a character short, in a way, or one of the Ruby shows, they could, talk a little bit more about her past, or why she is the way that she is. Why should we care about her? Because, again, the moment that Salem was introduced, I stopped caring about Cinder, in a way. And she only has continued to be that way, and proved to be somebody who's been getting frustrated because she can't get what she wants. Child.
Actual child.
Oh, yeah.
An actual child, and it's, I don't know, I'm really disappointed by that. Hopefully they can bring back that type of interest again. If not, well, Hopefully she has a horrible death, and I don't care who does it at this point. Preferably Raven does it, but somebody has to do it in a good way, please. I'm tired of this. Another thing that I found interesting, that I need to talk about this too, because not many people are talking about this. Cinder's Grim arm can regenerate.
Oh, yeah. That was great.
Yeah.
I found it funny when she got cut. She's like...
Shout out to
I don't know why.
Winter.
I don't know why, but that was great.
Oh, definitely. Oh, hell yeah, it was. That felt good. It's like, yes, be in pain, bitch. Anyway, sorry, I gotta calm down real quick. But yeah, no, what I found really interesting, and somebody pointed this out to me, if you take in a comparison with Volume 5, Cinder, and Volume 7, Cinder, her Grim arm is now only at arm's length. It now went up to her shoulder, and it wasn't like that before.
Oh, really?
And it's weird. Yeah, I actually just noticed that, because if you look at the fight with Raven versus Cinder, it's only like up to her arm. Now it's up to her shoulder. So if it's gone that high, I don't know if this was a mistake, but I don't think it was a mistake, because like that's a huge jump of her arm to her shoulder. And if that's the case, I fear that Cinder is going to become an irony character. And when I say that, she's going to be a very, very power-hungry character where she gets powers, but she gets consumed by it because of the Grim fusion that she had back with her treatment with Salem. So, that's my little theory right there.
If she becomes uncontrollable, that would be kind of scary.
It will be scary. A Grim that has maiden powers.
Yes.
And is going to be a little bit more powerful, and oh god, I can't imagine like how terrifying that is. Seeing a Cinder Grim-esque maiden, and especially if she gets the power of the other maiden, spring, winter, or summer, because fall enough, it's already scary. It's scary as it is, but if she gets more than that, oh my god. And the Grimar, again, it regenerates, which I really am curious as to how, because again, it can't regenerate, and it's not protected by aura or regenerated by aura. So how does that work? I'm assuming Salem must have done something that's going to fuck over Cinder at the end of then.
Darkness.
Powerful.
Maybe it's, or the more it regenerates, maybe the more it consumes. I don't know. Maybe that is a contributor. Who knows?
Another thing that I thought of is, like, if she absorbs more maiden powers, would she be able to become more as to a Grim? Even though, again, I don't know that, though. But it's just something that I have noticed, that it's now at shoulder's length. And I can't imagine how it's going to be a little bit later. And especially the fact that it regenerates. How can you stop her? A maiden that can regenerate as a Grim? Yeah, good luck with putting up with that one. Oh, wait. Guess what? Ruby, Silver Eyes. Put that bitch in a stone. Problem solved.
But that was quick. Now we don't need a season 9. We just finished.
Alright, here we go. Season 8,
really
that's the ending.
Nice spoilers, bro.
Can't believe it.
Sorry. I secretly talked to Rooster Teeth.
Oh, no.
Got the details for the next few seasons, alright.
Look, I just basically spoiled you, Cinder's irony, how her end is going to be, and yeah, Ruby's gonna be the one to put her down because Silver Eye Sharingan bullshit.
Sharingan.
Shout out to Naruto. But at least that's my theory with Cinder. Power hungry bitch into, the power consumes her. So, I really hope that happens, and I hope I can, I hope this will be remembered, because I'm going to look back on this, and I'm going to clip this podcast, and I'm going to put that out on Twitter, and I'm just going to be like, I motherfucking told you so. I hope I have that moment, but with that being said, other than that, good fight, really good fight, a little bit problem with Winter, that's all I got to say. And one more note that I had to add in as well. I really hope that Cinder She gets bullied. She suffers a lot more. She gets an actual little beating for beating the crap out of Winter like that. I don't know. Something about that just pissed me off so much. It's like it was already enough that we lost Pyrrha because of your bitch ass. No, I'm tired of you. I'm so tired of you. I want you dead.
Yeah, Ironwood just walks up with his gun, shoots her in the head.
Oh my god! Wow.
Hey,
that's pretty good.
hey, that would be interesting.
How about another eye shot?
Oh, a
Oh,
blind maiden. Can they even use their powers?
A blind maiden. Oh god, but that would prove Tony's point though even further. Like a blind Grim Cinder, but uncontrollable with a lot of power. Maidens.
what are you supposed to do?
Wait,
Oh,
but like
God.
if they don't have eyes, where's the fire going to come out of their nostrils?
I
Ew!
Well,
Oh,
I don't think
no.
you need. I don't think
Oh,
you need the
no.
eyes, because
I
it's
don't
more
think
like
that you need-
it more like surrounds the eye like lash. So
Well,
Alright,
What
well,
if they
we'll
don't
see.
have
We'll see if
eyelashes?
she
Is that
has
what you're saying?
eyelashes by the end of Ruby.
I guess.
If she turns
Does she
into a
have
Cinder
eyelashes?
Grim.
we'll find out.
Oh,
If they
no.
don't get seared off like a flamethrower or something.
Oh god. Oh, interesting. But yeah, no. But other than that, I like the fight very much. I don't know. How about you guys?
Yeah,
Good
it's
fight.
pretty alright. Yeah, it's like
I can't really say anything else.
It was just a fight to you.
No, because you said you said all the stuff that needed to
Oh.
be said.
Pardon me.
oh, you didn't mention how Winter just summoned the Grim and just flew all the way back up. That was kind of dope.
Okay. All right. Something I want to talk about real quick here. I'm gonna give a little bit of a quick shout out to Anti Souls. He's a great friend of mine, great moderator too for my Twitch, my Discord server, and stuff like that. Shout out to you. I want to bring him up because he has conflicting emotions of Ruby, and he saw certain like screenshots here and there. It piqued his interest to watch the final chapter of Volume 7. He pretty much skipped everything because he just kind of dropped it.
Bruh.
Through personal reasons that I can't say because it's gonna be a Twitter war once it's out there. But what I can say is that I had him watch the final chapter. I'm you know what? I'm gonna link this thread when I get this podcast out. But what was so funny, he was commenting between the battle with Winter when she summoned that, did her summoning with that Grim, against Cinder, and he was just like, it wasn't very effective, headass. Use a water type next time. I'm like,
Oh my
she can only
God.
use
Oh my
ice.
god.
Oh
I'm like,
my
she can only
goodness.
use ice. What are you talking about? And then he was like, oh well, too bad. I'm like, ice supposed to be. No, you know what? Whatever. And I was like, oh my god. Okay. All right, Anti. All right, I see. But I just gonna die. He was like, you really were treating this like this was a Pokemon fight. And he was like, hey, I saw the opportunity and I took it. But yeah, I'm actually gonna be linking those reactions with this podcast, so you guys can see what I'm talking about from there. So
Can't wait.
all the way at the Storm Connect EN Twitter. But yeah, with that being said, that's all I really had to say with Winter and Penny versus Cinder. I believe that you guys are good with it, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, cool. I did talk a little bit about with the divide between Weiss and Winter already. With that, it was kind of mixed in between. So now I think we got everything except for the last thing, because I kind of had to talk about this, and this is out of concern too. Salem's here in Atlas.
Oh. Big deal. Big
She
deal.
really showed up. Like, I
Dude, she
I
bought
wasn't
all
ready
her
for
Twitter
the whole
followers,
wall.
dude.
She brought her house.
Giant ass white knight in the middle, dude.
She
Stop.
brought. She brought all of her Twitter followers because she got into an argument with Ironwood on Twitter. She was like, alright, guess what? You pissed me off. She quote retweeted that, and that's where she comes in with her followers.
Let me just cancel Ironwood real quick, dude.
Cancel him and his followers at Atlas. Oh, you got 43,000 followers on Twitter? Well, take this. I have 400,000 Twitter followers on Twitter, and we're gonna come here and harass you and cancel you. Oh boy.
Dude, she's gonna beat Ironwood's unverified ass.
Oh yeah, because she's verified since the beginning of time. That makes sense. Wow. No, but seriously, I am creeped out that she actually brought her house. Her house is on top of that giant whale.
Oh wait, really? It was there?
Yeah, you see,
didn't see
because her house, it's made out of purplish pinkish diamonds, and it was right behind her when we saw the zoom up screen. That's her house.
Alright, let me just look at it real quick. That's insane.
Yeah, no, I thought so too. I was like, oh my god, this bitch was crazy enough to bring her house. She really said, we're moving, kids. She brought the kids, Hazel, Emerald, and
now.
Mercury.
Like,
She
it's actually
brought the
really
kids.
surprising they went to this direction, because, like, usually at the end of the season, it's kind of a resolution and it kind of calms down a little bit. We're just jumping
It was
straight
kind of a
into
resolution, but
It was,
no.
but
No
this
break,
is-
no break.
Yeah, no break. It just happens, and it kind of feels like it's the end of Ruby, even though maybe it might not be. But like, this
I worry about
feels
that.
like a big climax is just about to happen, and I'm kind of concerned about the pacing of season 8 since we're starting off in like the highest high of all time. But I'm still
Right.
extremely fascinated to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's my thing too, that, you would expect that Salem would, would show up by the time the 4th relic, the final relic, is out in the open, or like there's a chance to grab it. But here she is, she's trying to go to that kingdom to grab 2 with no visitation towards the kingdom of Vacuo or Vale. Right now it's pointless to visit Mistral because, well, the relic of knowledge is in Atlas right now. Now it's taken, so now all she needs to do is grab the Atlas relic, the Staff of Creation. But guess what? They can't do that without Penny. And until Penny somehow dies or her powers are, taken away by Cinder or somehow, shape, or form, how's she gonna get this fucking staff? Which I guess that's why she's here, by bringing her amount of Grim, her Twitter followers, and canceling Mantle. Yeah, she really showed up at the, brink of dawn like that. That's frightening. I won't deny that. And it's safe to assume that this is worse than Volume 3 matters.
Oh yeah.
Way bad. Because it's already bad enough.
For a second,
Mhm.
I thought you were gonna say this is worse than Volume 3, like Volume 3 was
This is what?
bad. I was gonna say.
Wait,
I thought you were
He's cutting out.
Aw, rip. Am I still cutting out?
No, you're good.
Alright, so I thought you said this was worse than Volume 3. Like Volume 3 was bad or something. I was gonna say, I was like,
Yeah, no Ruby fan could say Volume 3 was bad.
If somebody says that, they're fake. They're fake.
Yeah, we're getting Salem to get cancelled.
Cancelled.
Yeah,
Cancel
Salem. Mommy Salem.
Oh, dude, that outfit is actually dope.
Oh my god. I didn't think she'd actually get on a dress. Oh my god.
I didn't think she'd leave a chair. Damn, dude.
Yeah, because she's like somewhere like out in the hidden, out in the hidden kingdoms, outside of it. But nope, she's now out in the open. Actually, like, now we know she exists and they're gonna see her face to face. That's scary, man.
Not only that, like, this is her introduction to the whole entire world. Like, this whole well-kept secret is literally now irrelevant.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's now relevant, and guess literally it's what Ironwood said. Like, it was gonna happen eventually anyway, so there's no point of hiding it. Oh yeah, yeah. Talk about a glow up. Good job, Ozpin. Good job, Ozpin.
Uh-oh.
I wonder if they're really gonna go with the Pinocchio inspired story because
they
brought
both
the
get eaten
giant
by the whale?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting.
So that would be really interesting. I wonder how they're gonna get out of this one, and they're gonna be able to save the Kingdom of Atlas. How is Salem supposed to fail here?
Yeah.
Because she literally just came here and said, "Oh, this is my new home now. I took my house and now I'm putting it on top of Atlas." Sorry.
Not only that, Atlas is completely unprepared for this. They have zero resources to deal
No.
with this right now.
And the tower isn't fully set up yet, right? So,
Yeah,
like,
no, it's not even close to being ready.
So like
Yeah, they don't stand a chance.
they're on their own.
Yeah, so let's quote Ironwood real quick. Oh, yeah, there will be panic, there will be negative emotions everywhere, everything's going to fall apart, Graham is going to be everywhere. But I think we are ready. Yeah. Great blow up, Ironwood.
You
Great
reckon
fucking
Team
glow up.
Ruby would come 180, come back to save Atlas, or just ditch it and let Atlas die?
They gotta get Crow and Oscar.
Oh, true, they're screwed. Oh,
They didn't even ask about Crow, like, where he was at. He was like, oh yeah, where's Oscar? And nothing about Crow or Robin.
oh, Robin. Oh,
Bro.
we haven't even touched on Robin
Oh
yet.
yeah.
My god. They arrested her too.
Yeah, that
with
was
Crow.
just a dumb moment in that season.
That was
Oh,
so stupid.
so stupid.
Oh my god. I wonder how they're gonna get out of prison. Maybe in time. I don't know. I mean, then again, Crow could turn into a bird, but
He's just like, hey, let me just jump out real quick. Turns into a bird, dips.
I'm telling you, he's probably gonna forget that he has that power, which that's gonna be easy to bail those two out.
No, I'm thinking
But-
Raven though.
Raven.
Yeah, Raven just make a portal. It's like, alright guys, just hop in. is
Imagine
good.
like she was there the whole entire time, and it's just like, all right, get out here.
She's
No,
in a
watch,
tea shop.
watch.
just
That's how
drinking
this
tea.
season's gonna open up. It's gonna shift to Raven on a building or something. Watch.
Oh my god. Please. I hope she doesn't get
Please.
an outfit change.
Oh.
No.
Ah.
I can't take it.
She
Hey,
doesn't
what if it's a better outfit though?
Okay, then I dig it though, but her outfit design is already like the best, no contest, sorry. But I don't know, it's gonna be really interesting of how they're gonna go about this, cause Salem is there, and that's like there are so many directions they could go off with this, especially again, we have not even explored Vacuo, we have not come back to Vale, and there's no point of going back to Mistral or Menagerie, so I just hope that whatever's been going around with the controversies around with Rooster Teeth and such, because Volume 8 and 9, they were both approved to air to the general public. So, they got those two volumes ready to, to be worked on. I just hope that it's not going to stop there, which I strongly doubt it because they haven't made any announcement saying that Ruby is closing soon or anything like that, or we already know, like, where we're gonna stop at. We only know that they've already thought about the conclusion with the 4 girls of this series, but we don't know anything like of how far we are from it or how close we are to it. And I hope it's not going to stop where Monty has stopped, where he has written up to 10 volumes. I hope they actually pick it up from there and move on forward and finish the story and not rushed out and such, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more about that later, actually. So, here's hoping that, again, I don't really want to call this Volume 8. It just feels more like a Volume 7 Part 2.
Right.
So, I don't know. How are you guys feeling a bit more about this,
Yeah.
for the volume at least, and Salem arriving?
Turning you up?
That really felt like you know like how TV shows have their winter finales and then the season continues. Like you said, it felt like kind of like that. I did not feel like a typical like season end. It more so felt like mid-season.
I'm glad you
Which
brought
kinda
that up,
sucks.
actually. I think the best way how I could describe this, actually, Chapter 13, it was a great chapter. Do not mistake me on that. This was a great chapter.
Mm-hmm.
But, as a finale, I think this is not their strongest ones.
In what sense?
No.
At least, that's how
Well-
I feel about it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's how I'd phrase it, but
Well, it's like, again, it's
Yeah.
like, it feels mid-season at the same time. I don't know, it's just like, again, like, the cliffhanger is good, though, but it's just like, I don't know.
I think
just-
the cliffhanger's too strong. Like,
You think so?
yeah, like, I'm okay with how it wraps up and then Salem just pops out, and I'm like, yo, it's screwed. Like, they have to start off with that. And how do you, like, keep the story going uphill into a climax from that moment?
Okay, fair enough, I give you that.
That's how many episodes? 13 episodes of Salem trashing Atlas. I don't think that's gonna work. I'm not sure how they're gonna write that, but yeah.
Right. I feel that. Yeah, no, this volume was really something, and I'm gonna give Rooster Teeth the credit, the fact that, like, you know, whenever Salem is mentioned or talked about or encountered with, they do such a good job of bringing this fear, the terror. Like, I feel like I'm actually watching a horror movie, you know? Like, I've seen other
Can't
series that
relate.
they do that, though, but I don't know. I feel like they do such a good job when it comes to the horror aspect of it.
I think there's a good mystery behind it, because so many people don't know anything about her, and she's so uncertain. I think if she had less on-screen time in previous seasons, I would be way more afraid of her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, if the less we knew about her, I think the better. But I'm
No,
totally okay with the
I don't.
the Jin episode. I'm okay with that.
Okay. How about you,
Oh.
Tony?
I feel like the less you know about, the less they can be a good villain. You know?
Yeah, but I feel like because Salem really set up everything that's happening in Ruby, though. And
True.
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, that's my point.
I guess.
I just, I don't know.
I think we
Salem-
know enough.
Yeah.
I think
I
we
agree.
know enough where, yeah, you don't need to tell anything more about her. We got her motive kind of stuff, and it's, yeah.
So how you feeling about that whale, then? That's literally the size of Atlas.
Uh-oh.
That's literally how big that thing is. It's literally the size of Atlas out in the skies.
I'm really curious though, is she like aiming to destroy the world? Because I was like really expecting her to just summon the gods back, but this really doesn't seem like that even objective aligns with it at all.
She does plan to destroy humanity.
Okay. But
So
soon.
I know, yeah, it's a little bit sooner than expected, because she wants to get the relics first.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Which I don't know, like, I guess she decided to be like, okay, I need to get some fresh air in the sun, and, you know, get some exercise, you know, have a little bit of me time, just a little bit, and get back to my mission. I feel like that's what's gonna happen, but it's just weird that she's getting this little exercise and, you know, wanting to do what she wants and be a mom, a scary mom in a way.
To be fair, all her servants failed, like actually failed.
That's true.
So like, I guess it's understandable, but damn, it's happening.
It is happening sooner than expected, though. But I guess we're going to have, cause she said the stage was just set, so I'm just seeing of what she's really capable of. It's gonna be really interesting, especially seeing
Really?
how the sizes of Grimm. I don't know.
Really out here playing the conductor, huh?
Oh, Salem. Oh, don't die just yet. Don't die too early.
Oh no,
Oh,
definitely.
I don't see what that soon. No.
Imagine if the gods actually become the new villains.
Yeah, that's literally
Hey.
Kingdom Hearts.
Hey.
That would be Kingdom Hearts moment.
I feel like someone's gonna betray.
That's SMT. Entirety of
I don't know
Shin
what
Megami
SMT.
Tensei in Persona.
Oh, Shin Megami Tensei. Okay, alright. Oh, really? Hold up. Oh, right. No.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, alright. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this chapter, like, there's, like, a lot of, like, mixed feelings about it, though. Like, there's a lot of, like, good feelings about it, though, but, like, there's, like, a couple notes here and there, that were talked about. But all I gotta say is, great monologue with, Ozpin with his return as well.
Oh my god.
That was
That was
I don't know, that
hot.
was a powerful speech.
and it. Okay, when Oscar like broke through the ground, and you just see him floating in the sky, and you hear Ozpin, and it switches back to everything else. It's very cool.
That was so nice.
Well directed,
Right?
for sure.
I just hope he doesn't go away for a bit too longer, though. But again, we definitely need more time for Oscar.
Yeah.
So, but that's all I really have to say about Chapter 13 overall, and Salem's, her first, I guess you could say, her first grand reveal that she exists to the public. I don't know. How about you guys?
Yeah. Again, I felt it feels a little early, but I'm really, really excited to see how they implement her and what her goal is. Because I really a bit confused what direction she wants to go from here.
Right.
I think
Right.
that's kind of the point too, because
Yeah.
not everyone agreed that Salem should be revealed just yet, And it's well, now you don't have a choice. So
That choice is gone. I noticed that
Gone.
the theme, one of the themes of RWBY is that it's about choice, and now there isn't any choice anymore. Now that's being taken away slowly by her, and it's scary. So,
yeah.
alrighty. So now with that being said, let's talk about Volume 7 as a whole. And before we go into those pinpoints, I just want to give a huge shout out to Casey Lee Williams and the music cast, to their guest stars that they've brought on. Oh my god, they've popped off for this volume. I'm so happy with that. Hero was good. A New Day. Feeling the Moment. I know that's not the song title though, but everything, the guest stars, Alex Abraham and Jeff Williams for the music compositions and such. They did such an extraordinary job. I always find a new way to fall in love with the music of RWBY, and I just feel like it's powerful whenever I hear the songs, vocals or not. It's just, it brings so much hype, and I get roped right back into the series every time here and there.
Heck yeah.
And can
Amen.
we get
So,
the official soundtrack release?
oh my god. I wish I want to support that now, but we have to wait until the summer. Gosh.
I just want to listen to everything.
I do hope they get better with that. Hopefully, they can actually produce that faster, rather than waiting for 6 to 7 months, because it's annoying.
Hey, well, it's okay. As long as you don't have to wait as long as Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh god. Oh my.
Hey, we're not here to
god.
talk about Kingdom Hearts 3, Tony.
Oh no. That's
No, we're not getting into that further. I just wanted to mention
that'll be another podcast episode for another day.
That's gonna be a 7-hour block with me and Tony.
Oh no. Well, there we go. That'll be another Storm Connect podcast. Anywho.
Oh.
But yeah, just wanted to give a quick shout out to the music
yes.
staff for that. So love you guys. Please don't stop producing music. Please don't. We want to listen to them. We love you all. Now, the first thing I want to talk about. Let's talk about Penny Polendina as a character and her interactions and how she performed well in this volume. So as I mentioned before, Penny coming back to the RWBYverse, I shed a tear. I was crying. That was a beautiful moment, and especially getting to introduce the father, Pietro, especially getting to know how he's like and such. Oh yeah, also Father of the Year to him as well. That man deserves an Oscar, literally an Oscar. Give him best parent. I'm going that to him. I'm sorry.
Actual Father of the Year.
I know, right?
No me.
But yeah, Penny Polendina and RWBY, I want to talk about them real quick. Penny, she has, again, as I mentioned before, she has grown more as a character to how she was earlier in the volumes, and she's been upgraded to a better model and such, her weapons, and I guess with her artificial intelligence as well to that. She felt more real I don't know if it's just me and such though, but she felt more real as a human being to me in this
I feel
volume
like
compared to how she was back then.
the voice direction was different, like in some kind of way.
Yes, it
was
felt
less
more
quirky.
human-like.
Yeah.
Yeah, less quirky. There you go. I don't know, like she actually like felt more real. And again, I mentioned this before in a previous podcast of this though, but whenever like she has an opinion, you know, like she actually was like strong about it this time. Like back then she's like, well, yeah, I wish they could be like this. No, in this volume she was like, I don't see the good in any of this. I don't think this is okay at all. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, not so
whoa.
indifferent either.
Right? It
Yeah.
wasn't like, we saw that she was able to like develop more emotions that way. I'm like, oh my god, if this girl can become a real girl into a real human body, that, wow. Pinocchio moment.
Yeah, she had a lot of character-defining moments in this season. Like, a lot of decisions she got asked questions, she challenged them, and she had, like, a good perception of what she thought was right and wrong, which made her a lot more human in that sense. And I think that was a really, really great stepping stone for Penny, because in the earlier seasons, yeah, she wasn't that, like, terribly interesting, and also, she always followed rules, which really didn't let her character grow outside of that. But now, we get to see her as a full-fledged maiden in Team RWBY. I'm really excited to see what they do with her.
And what I love as well is the fact that like she points out the flaws of Atlas and what Ironwood is planning to do. Like she was like, this is not what I signed up for. I was like, whoa, okay, whoa. All right, she really had the cojones to say that. Damn. But it just like, I'm just glad that like there was that type of interaction with her and Winter for that, you know? So I thought that was like a beautiful chemistry between the two. But speaking of chemistry, I need to go over this because this is something that I thought is an interesting topic to discuss about. Like I said earlier, Penny and Ruby's friendship. I mentioned this before in the first podcast, my first episode podcast. It felt underwhelming, the fact that
alright,
Ruby... Yeah, it felt
I was gonna
extremely
say.
underwhelming that how Ruby took Penny's presence as like, yeah, she's alive and she's okay again. And you know, like, yeah, like Ruby, she was like, what? But like after like they had a conversation about it, she's like, oh, okay. Like, what? I'm still bothered by that. And I'm going to bring another point of this as well because this adds further to my point as to why I don't like the chemistry between Ruby and Penny anymore. I'm sure maybe it was supposed to be meant with good intentions, but it wasn't executed right, possibly. And that was, I believe, chapter 5. And that's when, you know, they got used to the chapter, or not the chapter, this, you know, working together with Penny and the Elysian forces and such. When Penny and Ruby, you know, they had their little small idle chit chat.
Are we talking in the plane scene?
No, it was a
the
plane
car?
scene.
Cool.
They were in the car, yes.
That one.
Yeah. I thought it was
Okay.
weird because, like, you know, Ruby was like, oh yeah, have you made any friends? Like, I don't know, just in the way that she said that, it just came off weird to me. Like, girl, she died and she was brought back to life and stuff like that, and you're worried about it. She has more other, like, you know, other friends, which I'm pretty sure, like, in a way that's supposed to be, like, meant out of concern. She's been able to make other connection with people just as a friend to a friend that way, but
the way the scene was, it felt less sincere.
exactly,
It
it's just
didn't
like,
feel like-
I just mhm.
It wasn't kind of out of character for Ruby, I think, too, is the thing. Because, like, that's just not her, I don't think.
She was depressed and crying that her friend died. Both of her friends died in volume 3. And seeing that, like, seeing somebody that, like, just looked like that she was brought back from the dead like that, it's like, that's a mindfuckery moment right now. It toys with so many emotions, and you want to do everything in your power to protect Penny. Which I hope to God she's not thinking that, oh, well, she's a robot and she's rebuilt again that way, then it's okay. Like, no, it's not okay. Especially learning that Pietro, he gives up his aura every time that he rebuilds her again. Come on.
I hope Volume 8, they have a little more connection, and it doesn't feel off like that.
I think it reminded me a bit of Volume 1 when Ruby first meets Penny. She playing it off as trying to be nice to her, but while not really liking her at the same time. Like that's that's the kind of vibe you get from season 1, and it's kind of it's echoed a little bit, which is unfortunate, but yeah.
I don't know. It's like get off my back real quick, you know. I didn't like that vibe at all, and I hope that doesn't continue again, because that was, I don't know, that was uncalled for. But yeah, that's my chemistry and my gripes that I have with that type of chemistry. The one thing I'm gonna give to Ruby in this volume is the fact that she clapped back against the Aesops.
Okay. Yeah.
She really said, "Oh yeah, you thought."
It was like, we're the best people in Atlas, or we're the best huntsmen, and then she's like, "You were until you trained us."
I'm just glad, like, this time it wasn't about, like, the power of friendship, or, you know, like, we're gonna be, like, no, she, like, it was actual facts. She was like, no, then you trained us. Sorry. Like, okay, I'll give you that one. I'll give credit to you again, Ruby. So, please keep with that momentum, and do that with Penny, because she became a maiden, and she's a fucking sweetheart. You go talk to your friend. Be a good friend.
I thought of something dumb.
What's that?
If they put Penny back in a team, and they make Team Juniper again.
Well, technically that's how it is right now, because Oscar is not with Team Orange right now.
Oh no, it's not Team Orange anymore.
It's not Team Orange anymore. Penny came in the end of the volume, and she's like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then that's really weird. I don't know, but cool, I guess.
I guess we'll just have to see from that, though, but it would be funny in the future reference, though. But it's good that they have a maiden by their side now as an alliance. That's amazing.
No!
What?
And she's a maiden. And you know how Pyrrha was supposed to be a maiden, too? It's gonna give them all those memories. Oh, my God.
Oh, God. Jean's gonna have a freak-out episode. Well, I mean... trust love.
Great song.
It's funny, actually, I want to talk a little bit about that real quick. Trust Love really became the irony of this volume, which I was kind of anticipating it. I'm glad it was fulfilled, though. But talk about the ranges between fear and trust love, and how everything just flip-flopped, and now everything's in shambles. Not just a kingdom, but the fate of the world now.
Yeah, trust was like a pretty big theme in this season, and like literally, it was all in the end undone.
It was undone, and well, it costed somebody's heart. It costed some people to die. It costed some risks, and that talk about a lot of trust going to nothing. So,
do we
speaking
happen to be
of
coming
trust,
up on time?
Huh?
Do we happen to be coming up on time, or
just a little bit, but we could squeeze it a little bit more.
All right.
Bet.
Alrighty. So, I do want to talk about this because there was not that much discussion about that, though. But let's talk about the Schnees, excluding Weiss.
All right, let's talk about Whitley first. Got what he deserved.
Go.
You love to see it.
Wait.
No. Shut up, Kimps. I don't care.
Whoa. Okay. Whoa. Calm down.
Yeah, kick this Tony guy, dude.
Whitley bad. He got what he deserved. I hope wine gets poured on him again. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah.
Okay, but aren't they like hinting that Whitley is kind of screwed over right now, being the heir to this Schnee name? But like, obviously he didn't. I don't know, maybe not obviously, but it felt like he was in a position he didn't want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also his mom hints to the fact that like he was left behind, so he might have some traumatic things going on, but obviously it's overshadowed by his upbeat personality, which we all hate. But he could just be a come up, you know? Like, he could be suffering. That boy is like stuck in this most broken ass family I've ever seen in my life, and he's just pretending to be happy.
Okay, when Jacques got exposed, and he was like sweating over there, that was great. That was
a beautiful
Oh
scene.
yeah, no, I love that scene so much. That was so much fun.
I think that's like
so
the highlight of Volume 7. Like, Jacques Schnee, you're under arrest. I'm like,
Dude, that was so
God.
hype. That was so hype.
Jacques Schnee, you're under arrest. Wait, can I do that?
that must have felt so good. I'm like, Weiss, you deserve that one. She deserved it, especially after that slap. I'm like, yeah, bitch, get arrested.
You reckon Jacques Chenet has an arc after this, or is this the end? The last we're gonna see of him?
No, I don't think it's the end of him. I kind of want it to be though.
I think it's the end of him. I think he's gonna get eaten by a giant whale.
I think so
bet.
too. I feel like the Schnees
never
are gonna
mind.
get eaten up by that fucking whale. I mean, again, speaking of eaten up by the fucking whale, there's a lot of people that are saying that Willow Schnee has the dead hair mom haircut.
No.
We already just saw her. I don't want her to die so fast.
That would be unfortunate.
She-
Well,
yeah, she
so
needs
did
more
Lionheart,
screen time.
and guess where that happened?
No one likes Lionheart though.
Okay, so how about Clover?
Okay, that was just very unfortunate. Okay, well, like, it's too bad he died as
Listen.
honest, you know?
I was so sad, especially for like Crow, because I don't know, he just found someone he could rely on almost, you know? It felt like that. And then dead.
And guess what, Tony? You have to deal with it.
That's all that's been Crow's life. It's bad luck and even people dying. And yeah, no, that just it was supposed to make a difference for Crow. And some people argue that it's like character development. I don't think it is. It's like this is a breaking point for Crow because he's been dealing with it for so much, and that's why he can't be around anybody. Is because of things like this, unfortunately. So. And I feel so bad, and I'm actually interested in what direction they're gonna take with Crow for this.
I felt so bad for Crow. Cause like
And
he
gets
watched
framed?
it happen with his own blade too.
Yeah.
Yikes! Talk about framing. Even though they could just use Robin Hill's semblance, but they don't want to trust her.
Oh,
Trust
she was
her.
unconscious through the whole fight. She wouldn't have seen if Crow killed.
Well, yeah,
Well, she wouldn't
but
need to.
she could explain at least what happened before. Like, all she would have to do is just link up with one of the Elysian forces in Crow and be like, "Did you kill Tyrion?" And then he'll be like, "No." And it's-
Obviously.
or not Tyrion.
Yeah,
but
I was like,
Clover.
wait, what?
Why? I don't know why I said
Are you-
Tyrion.
Yeah, but no.
Mhm.
Okay, but the actual shot once he got stabbed, that was a really good shot, I think.
Oh,
Just
definitely.
The colors and all that was great.
That was like Yang getting her arm chopped off again.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's been so long.
Oh my god! Why did you talk about that, Gibbs?
Wait, what? Wait, what'd I do?
Why did you talk about Yang's arm?
What?
The colors. The almost as okay. I'm sorry. It was a heartbreaking moment for me. But
Dang, I didn't know you two had PTSD.
well, yeah, we kind of share that in common. But anyway, yeah, no, oh yeah, so it's funny because like there's been like at least like 3 fights now between Crow and Tyrion, and there better be a final fight.
Oh, yeah. I
There
agree.
should be. So, so on the topic of Aesop, since we kind of just like slimmed over to that, I hate them all.
Bad.
horrible characters.
Except Clover. I'm sorry. I
hate him
will
the most,
forever
actually.
Argue. I will argue for Clover.
Look,
He actually
just-
felt like kind of sincere. I don't know.
But he was the dumbest one.
Okay. Okay.
Well, it's funny because, I mean, in retrospective, the Aesops are nothing without Clover. If Clover was there against Team Ruby, then they would have been finished.
Oh,
but
for sure.
because that, you know,
And-
they
and,
had
like-
to rely for his good luck.
And the thing was, like, for me with Clover, right? You, like, see him fighting Crow versus the Aesops fighting Team Ruby. And you, like, see Clover actually didn't want to do that versus, like, the Aesops, like, who cares? Besides the one
Right.
dude, the Faunus.
Mhm.
Everyone else is like, who cares?
Marrow?
Um,
Same thing?
Marrow, yep.
And
But-
it's just like,
Marrow
Okay.
was so immature. He's my second
Yeah.
hated character, actually. Very immature.
I did not
Um,
like him.
I didn't like him at all. Harriet was annoying.
Oh, I did
She
not
was
like
just
Harriet.
being.
Yeah.
She was so competitive at the stupidest of times. It's like, shut up.
I'm buff.
Thank goodness
You-
for the clapback. And then,
Vine was tolerable for me. I liked him a lot, actually.
it's alright.
He was he was just there, but like he wasn't like insufferable or anything
Yeah,
like that. Like at least he
he
was
was-
even being rational.
He was kind of just there, it felt like.
Right. And then
So, you know
what
what?
was that
I guess I
other
can't hate
Aesop name?
Elm.
Yes.
Elm, that was her name.
Mhm,
My bad.
Elm.
I don't remember hearing her
Honestly, I
name
had a
once.
hard time. Yeah, same. I had a hard time remembering.
And I watched 10 episodes in one day. And I just don't remember.
They don't say it that often, actually.
No, I don't know. I actually have the thing next to me, like the screen of Ruby characters next to me. That's why I remember the name.
Nice. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the Aesops as a whole for me. It's like they were just like, because I get it, like they were just randomly introduced, which is obvious for the Atlas arc and such. But it's like they weren't really fleshed out enough. You know, they were
No.
just, I mean, also just there. Just again, we're supposed to, you know, fear them or feel protected by them because they're the best of the best, even though they got created by the fucking team who's gone through worse shit than them.
Yeah.
Just
It's just disappointing how the way they think. It's like, oh, really, bro?
I feel like the one that has better fleshed out times was Robin Hill.
Oh, I like Robin.
oh, Robin.
Robin Hill. I wish her huntresses, her team,
Oh,
we got to a little bit like know more about them, but
They had
like they were
zero
just
screen
also
time.
there. Yeah, they had zero screen time, and they were just there, and they were just like, oh yeah, we're her bodyguard / her team and such.
they have really
Well,
cool
relevant,
semblances
sorry.
too. It's really sad how underutilized they were.
I love their designs. It's just the fact that why they're there, what came to be, they just were not there.
Yeah. Like, for a team, Robin just had, like, way more presence than any of them. Which is
Yes.
understandable, but yeah.
Which
I
that's
hope
the
Robin
thing.
has more presence.
Oh yeah, same. I love her. She's such a great character. I love even like she's willing to break the law just to do what's right for her people, and it's not like out of ill intent or anything like that. Like it's for the town that she grew up in and what she feels together as a family, and I love that about her. Her
That's
strong
like-
ambitions and such. I love her.
It's like an ideal Raven.
You know what? Yeah, and plus they're both birds.
Oh, nice too.
Mm-hmm. You know,
really
that's the thing
thought
I'm starting
about
to
that.
notice. Like,
Eder has
Cinder's
that
always
bird
getting
fetish.
fucked up by birds. If you think about it. You know, Raven, and then Winter's fucking birds and
Bird,
shit. What's
yeah.
next? What's next? Oh yeah, and Crow at one point.
Wait, have Crow and
Oh.
Cinder ever fought?
They haven't fought, but Crow stopped basically the transmission, the transferring powers through when they ambushed Amber, the
Oh.
previous Fall Maiden.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, no, with that being said, it's like, wow, she just can't, no wonder why Cinder is so frustrated. She can't catch a break, even though, no, fuck her. You're not allowed to catch a break. Fuck you. But, But yeah, no, but Robin Hill, she was really fleshed out as a character. We really got to learn a lot about her. I hope she doesn't stay in this Atlas arc and we see her more often. Hopefully, maybe join up with Team Ruby. Now it might be asking for a little bit too much.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
I don't either, though, but at least protecting her talent and being around there when needed. So, if she's not around for longer, then I'm gonna be actually mad. Not gonna lie, she's up there for me, and it's only been one volume.
Dude, I reckon she's gonna get the Maria treatment and just disappear for most of the season.
I hope not. No. Oh yeah. Speaking of Maria, shout out to grandparents. You know, especially to Maria for roasting the entire show, because that's all she was there for. Roasting everyone and even breaking the fourth wall sometimes. Gotta love her. But, yeah, because I feel like I just have a feeling they're not gonna bring her Huntresses back. Maybe to bail those two out, though, but, like, they're just there now. They probably died.
Yeah, they probably just died to a freaking whale and Twitter
I
followers.
just thought about it. Ruby can't end soon, can it? Because, like, they haven't... There's
so
no
many
Summer
threads.
Maiden, right?
There's so many threads, and you know, they haven't even gone to Vacuo yet.
Dude,
Yeah.
wait, I just had a weird thought. Ruby just looks at the whale and it just dies. The silver eyes.
Oh my god!
Just the
Looks
silver
at the
eyes.
whales, dies.
The light from the silver eyes just blinds it all.
Oh my god!
And then season 8 just ends in the first 5 seconds of just Ruby opening her eyes.
That's crazy.
Damn. Dude, what if Salem just dies to silver eyes? That would be so dumb. Anyway.
Well, I feel like if you want my honest opinion, I feel like that's what's gonna like wipe her off from the grand attachment, and then she just becomes human again. That would be sad. But yeah, no, I don't know. Back to the Aesops though. I just I couldn't with them. Robin Hill, I hope she gets more screen time for Volume 8 and she plays more of her role as to how she did in Volume 7, carried to Volume 8.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I kind of want to talk about too. Like, with all the... In terms of fleshing out and such, my biggest problem with Ruby as a whole overall is the fact that there's always a time crunch with 13 chapters.
Yeah, that's... I just don't know.
Because... Mm-hmm.
13 is too little. And
It's
it's like...
But 13
At least...
chapters is
There
so
should at
long.
least be 20, I feel like. Or at least, like, a few more. Maybe 4 more. I don't know.
5. I'd say with
4 or
5
5,
more.
4
But
or
I
5,
mean,
yeah.
honestly, I'd say like up to like 16 to 18 chapters would be my good range. To like if there's gonna be so many characters that are gonna be introduced, especially the fact that like they kind of play a supporting role at most, they should have some like fleshed out time. Like the Aesop should have, Robin Hill and her Happy Hunter. Well, mostly her Happy Huntresses, because Robin Hill, she's already played her role as great and it was fleshed out well. It's just there's always too much going on. It's hard to focus one character to another here and there, and the fact that there's inconsistencies with these episode lengths, it's hard to really narrow down as to like what should we have the focus on here and there, which, you know, like they do make it clear as day time to time, but it's not all the time.
Yeah.
So it's just that they really need to focus a little bit more of their character building and such, because they already did enough with their world building. They already have the World of Remnant side series with that complements it, so they don't have to worry too much about that. It's just the characters they need to really worry about. I just hope they don't make that mistake when we go to Vacuo, if we're even going to Vacuo or to wherever they encounter next, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So-
Well, I'm still
I don't
here
know.
for it, regardless.
Yeah, same here. Like,
Yeah.
it's not enough to sway me away from this series, because we all love it. This is why we're talking about it here and now, you know?
I just hope they don't have 13. They have more next time. That's a dream, but I wish.
Honestly, the only way for that dream to happen is they take a full year off of Ruby. And then
I
we
can't
get...
wait.
which I would be able to wait too. Like, I would be fine with Ruby Chibi and the two other shows complementing with that for a full year up until volume 25 or whatever.
Oh god.
Imagine.
Oh my god.
No, I'd rather not. That's like longer than Kingdom Hearts. Dude.
That is actually
I can
longer
see
than Kingdom Hearts.
12, at least.
12.
Volume?
I can see 12 volumes.
Right now I
12 more
see...
volumes or up to 12?
No, up to 12. No,
At
12
least.
more volumes. Yikes.
Oh god. Up to
Yeah,
12? That would be scary, actually.
I see 10.
10? Right up to where Monty left off?
Oh, well, yeah?
Because remember, Monty left off to chapter, or not chapter, he led off to volume 10 written, and then Kirby is just picking it up from there.
Oh wow, really?
That's actually a lot.
Yep.
And yeah,
He was that ahead?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to think all of these events were already planned out. That's actually kind of insane.
I know, that's why I was like, wow,
gonna
that man's
say-
a beast.
Yeah.
I was like, because volume 7, it really felt like it had still happened, or it felt like
We're here at this moment.
yeah,
Mm.
and it really felt like it was planned. I don't know,
Right.
like it doesn't feel like it contradicted much yet, and I'm just like, wow.
Well, that's what we're gonna see is the fact that, like, by the time maybe after volume 10, or by the time we get around there, we might see what because, again, the core of the main story, it has been consistent to what Monty has written. So, until that we get up to that limit, we'll see, like, what, if there's gonna be much differences or changes or such, if there's gonna be any drastic changes, we'll see by then.
We'll find out
Who
soon enough.
knows?
So, and last part that I want to talk about for this part, Lyren. I did have this pin for a while, and I need to remove that pin now. Ren has acted so differently in this volume. I don't understand. It's not his normal self. He's had a really, really aggression outbursts, which is out of his character. And it's like, you used to be the guy that's talked about patience and such, and usually the calm and cool, collected guy, and you're losing it big time. I don't know, it's just Salem is getting to him that way. I don't know, but it's like, it just seemed out of character for that way. There are moments like he has his outbursts and concerns, and then he was okay when they were at the dinner party, and then he just lost it again by the end of this volume, and now that man's having a mental breakdown for whatever reason. I still don't understand.
Yeah, it's very odd. I feel like if we were to see Lyren ever to break out, it should have started at like the end of chapter 4. Oh no, volume 4? Yeah.
I agree.
Once volume, or oh, you meant. Sorry, I thought you meant episode 4. I was like,
Yeah,
wait.
no, I said my bad. And
Okay.
then like volume 4. Yeah. Because that was like the emotional climax for Lyren and Laura, I think.
Yeah, and it's for
yeah.
some reason sparking up like big time. It's like, where is this coming from?
It's like,
you know?
there's like no reason for this to come out now. Unless it's Salem.
Yeah, unless it's Salem, which it's, again, I don't know, with Ren, it's like, it's feeling inconsistent, so it feels so, and it's funny because he's talked more than Jean in this volume, and it's usually the other way around.
Bro, John.
He didn't talk that much or even
Jean was
speak that
gone.
much. Yeah. Or shut up.
Where's Oscar?
Oh god, he pulled an Oscar moment.
Uh-huh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that will be all for the podcast episode. If you are listening to the show on Apple Podcasts, be sure to leave out a 5-star rating if you enjoyed the podcast. Hit up the Storm Connect at Storm Connect EN or other platforms this podcast is on for feedback on this show and such and so on forward. And be sure to follow Kim's and Tony's social media platforms and such. YouTube, you can go ahead.
Yeah, follow me at Kimchu on Twitter, and don't try to cancel me.
Follow me, TMaxO4 on Twitter, TMaxO on YouTube. Please cancel Kim's. His opinions are bad. He sucks. I don't know why he's even here. Just kidding. And that's about it.
Alrighty then. Thank you so much for joining with me here to talk about RWBY. And yeah. I also want to make a quick apology that I have not produced out an episode of the podcast. Hopefully this long 2-hour podcast makes up for it, and another project that I'm cooking up as well that should be out before or right after this podcast is out. So please stay tuned for that in time. This is Edo Ninja, Kims, and Tony, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Thanks for having us.
See ya.